Like, oh my god.
Yeah, so what'd you say? You said we look like two wiener dogs.
Yeah. Did we get like one sack, maybe?
Maybe. No, bro. I had like 2 sacks on Manzi, but his shit didn't pop. There was no noise. Yeah, it was just like butter, and then the dude was listen for a pop. So I had at least 2 with one that was like, oh, maybe he got it off. But I definitely had 2. But the dude was listening to that ref is so ass.
Who is he?
The white dude, the short white guy. Yeah, dude, he's crazy, bro.
Has he ref games before?
He's refed 1 game before, and then I know he does a lot of tournaments for Louis. But oh my god, bro, I could not stand that dude. He was so dumb.
I don't think I've ever seen him in my life.
It
was intense, huh?
Some of the rules he said, I never heard of. I didn't even know that was a rule.
What did he get you for the set?
Yeah.
Well, I don't even know what you called.
Apparently, what is it? I don't even know, bro. I picked it up.
False start, right?
Yeah, something like that. I picked it up, and then as soon as I put it down on the ground, he called false start or something like that. I guess once I picked it up, they could have rushed. When Kenny told me, he's like, wait, hold the ball. And so when I picked it up like that, they technically could have came in a rush and sat Kenny, because technically the ball's live, and I could have just went like this and thrown it back to Kenny like that. That's what he said. And he said the moment I put it back down is when it became a false start, which doesn't even make any sense. Technically, that would mean that the ball's dead.
Yeah,
I don't know, bro. That dude was tripping, bro. I'm not a big fan of it.
Yeah, I'm not a... I always say like getting refs hard time, so I'm not that guy. But it was just.
I got the history,
but yeah, I was like, I don't even know who this guy is.
Yeah, I've seen him like once or twice.
A little southern accent too, huh?
Yeah, he's from down south. I've spoken to him before. I mean, he's chill as a dude, but he's just...
I just don't direct my games.
Yeah,
I got both games out here.
But I mean, he's good if you knew like the flag game, because he does a lot of stuff for college football and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know that. So like, he's a decent ref, and you see him. He like marks the line. He's got his body straight, and like he's doing everything. And he's got the signals down. Like he knows what he's doing. He just doesn't know the transition over to the flag.
That's true. That's tough.
And he's listening for different things instead of actually looking and stuff like that. But I mean,
nuances.
I mean, he's solid though. He just needs to transition that over to flag. And I don't think it'd be too bad.
All right, with that being said, thanks for coming out, dude.
Yeah,
we usually cheers it this way. We'll give you a little monster. I haven't had one of these since freaking '96.
You not about that bang life?
Oh no, dude! I take a couple sips on it, I get freaking like wired. Really? I'm just like kind of scared.
I don't do monster. I only do bangs.
No, I haven't had one of those in forever. But today I was walking through the store. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get a monster.
Yeah,
one of these bad boys, like 100 grams of sugar. But
dude,
live life on the edge,
bro.
But yeah, dude, thanks for coming out.
I appreciate you for having me.
A lot of people who I have on, like especially people like we're not that close at all.
Right.
Like where we chop it up right now.
We know Quick though.
Yeah, that's out of all the people in the world.
You still talk to that fool or no?
Every now and then, dude. But he's literally like a day oneer. Like I
know.
Like I met. Yeah, we grew up together.
Yeah, he's dope as hell.
Yeah, he's a cool cat. But yeah, like I said, even though we're not that close or anything, we knew. But a lot of people who come in here like that, like I was getting nervous. Like, damn, like how's this gonna go? Am I gonna have to pull this conversation now?
Nah,
it's gonna be
I'm
weird.
a talkative person, bro.
I know.
With me.
That's what. But when I got you, or when we decided on you coming over, it was like, oh man, like I'm not worried at all. Like I know we could just sit here and chop it up.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that, dude.
I talk my head off. You can ask me anything. I'm like an open book, bro. I give 2 shits.
But you know what? That we already got on the flag topic. Let's go back to freaking just to figure out what happened with this Manzi thing last season, dude. I mean, we go balls deep into that, but
I knew that was coming.
I remember we talked about it on the phone with me and DJ.
Yeah, just like real quick.
And then
he took my team this season.
Yeah, were you not going to bring Mr. Town again? Was that team? Oh, you were?
I was, yeah. We were just, so the plan was to just, And
Eric was going to throw, right?
Yeah, Eric was going to be the quarterback. Manzi, we were going to, cut our ties, whatever. We were cool. And I'll start off by saying, like, I don't hate nobody. Like, I ain't got no room in my heart for hate. I like Manzi. Manzi's a cool dude, and Manzi knows what it is too. We just don't get along flag-wise. That's all that is. But like we chop it up with Madden and stuff like that. Manzi's a cool dude. He's a good ass dude too. But last season it didn't work out. And then what was supposed to happen was Manzi was supposed to take probably his guys. I imagine he would have took Keys, Malik, And I think Malik had a couple guys like Devin and some of those guys. So I figured they would just go over there with Manzi this season. They'd start their own little team or whatever. Manzi was supposed to be having some dudes fly out or move out here from Texas.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
some of his Texas guys. The white dude, Cody, I don't know. The dude who played center for Spidey's team in the AFL.
The redhead cat.
Yeah, okay. Him. He was supposed to fly out here. And I think he's out here. I don't know what happened, but he was supposed to have his own team, and then I was supposed to keep the original Misfit squad. You know, Javon, Wags, Eric,
nice
me, Ty, Josh. Yeah, all of us, and then Joey and Casey, and I had all my guys. And we went 10-2 on our first season together.
Yeah.
Then we brought in Manzi. We had a little mishap, and then we were just gonna go back to it. And then I had all these dudes in the chat, and then all of a sudden, you know, one by one, they just started dipping.
Really?
Yeah, and like Joey's one of my day ones. Casey's one of my day ones. Those are dudes who I felt like had some loyalties to me. And then Joey's like, oh, nah, fam, I've always wanted to play in North County. We're going to go play in North County. It's right down the street from me because he lives up in Esco.
Okay, that makes sense.
You're right. And then I was like, all right, whatever. And then come to find out they're playing in East County. And I'm like, so you just left me for no reason. And then I come to find out that he paid for everybody's season. And then everyone just dipped. And I'm like, yo, y'all were talking hellish shit about this dude. And then I'm hearing, like, y'all are calling him up to go play for him. And I'm just like, y'all some... I was like, all right, whatever. I felt some type of way for like a half second. And then I was like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, I was like, I don't care. So then I was going to just like retire and just kick back. And I was just like, I'm done with football. I started a new job. I got two passions in life. It's dogs and it's football.
Really?
So,
dogs?
Yeah, I love dogs, bro. I'm like the biggest dog person. My wife's a dog person too. And she told me, she goes, you're such a dog person that you make me not want to be a dog person.
wait, time out. I had no clue about this. Define a dog person. Like, I know, like, I'm super gay with dogs. Like, if I freaking see any dog on the street, dude, like, I want to freaking tackle it, just cuddle it.
No, so like that. So like she's a dog person like that, where she likes dogs, she wants to have a dog, she has dogs in the house all the time. But I'm like a dog person where I'm like, I'm that crazy dude who would be like the crazy cat lady, but with dogs. And I would like have all sorts of dogs. My dream is just to become filthy rich and just buy acres of property and just buy out all the dog shelters and just have all the dogs on my acres of property. And I'm so extra, bro. I want to buy like little not huts, but like little apartments with eating and AC and just have them all just hooked up, bro. I want a vet on the property so the vet can take care of the dogs.
Oh my God,
yeah, dude, I love this.
Dude, what the heck? So, do you have a bunch of dogs at home, or
So I became a dog trainer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's, off leash canine.
Damn, I thought that was a gangbang shit or something.
Nah, trainer on the side.
That's dope, dude.
Yeah, so I'm a dog trainer now. And
where's that at?
Here, at my house. I do it at my house.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I take people's dogs and I keep them for 2 weeks. And they live with me for 2 weeks. And I train it for those 2 weeks. And then I train them over and the dog is completely off leash. Doesn't need a leash at all. Does all the commands with full distractions. Our goal is to basically get them into the middle of Times Square and be able to perform all these with all these commands with all these distractions and with no leash.
This company is someone, or I don't know how you get certified, or like what was your...
Yeah, I had to go to the East Coast. I dropped like $5,000 and then took a trip down to Tennessee and worked for 3 weeks. It was 12-hour days, 7 days a week.
Damn, straight buzz training,
yeah, for 21 straight days, bro. Just bam, 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 bam.
What is amazing, or did it suck? Or a little bit of both?
A little bit of both, because like there were some days where we were literally there from like 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. and the only thing I did was sit there and watch classes.
Really?
Like lessons being taught to other clients.
Oh,
and like for me, it's just kind of like, I'm not like a watcher, I'm a doer.
Yeah,
like let me get my hands on the dog, let me work the dog, and I'll figure it all out. But oh my God, 12 hours is lessons.
Damn,
I was kill myself. Yeah, I was just like, pull the trigger right now, and then you had to wake up and do it all again. And then like the first few days was just watching videos nonstop, like just nonstop the whole day for 12 hours, just YouTube video.
Really?
So just dog stuff. Yeah. So it was really annoying. But once we got into the hands-on work, I loved it. Aggression day was my favorite day by far.
What does that mean? What's aggression?
Aggressive dogs. So we worked on dogs that way.
Like breaking them or what?
Nah, just working with them and figuring out how to work them and how to get them. Because once they're aggressive, they're aggressive. You know, you can't train aggression out of a dog. The only thing we can do is harness that aggression.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so they took all the aggressive dogs from all previous clients that just hate people and hate other dogs, and they had them. Some of them were muzzled, some of them weren't muzzled, and they were just like attacking us and barking at us and trying to bite us. No, I was excited.
Really?
Yeah, because I mean, I'm gonna get bit on the job sooner rather than later, so I might as well do sooner. So
that's a good point.
Yeah,
it's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, so I was like, I'll do it. Let's go. But aggressive dogs are like one of my things. Like I thought I was gonna get into like protection work because there's so many avenues you can do with dog training. It's crazy.
I have no clue. Please enlighten me. Like
there's a lot. So there's like there's doggy sports, which is kind of tight, and I'm like a sports dude, so I might get into some doggy sports. Yeah, so I might do some of that. But there's like the protection work with the police dogs. There's service dogs. There's ESA dogs, like legit ESA. I know a bunch of people just get their dog certified as ESA, but they're not.
I don't know what ESA is.
Oh, emotional support animal.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can get your dog. I mean, I'm one of those people before I became a dog trainer.
Oh yeah, you get a little vest on.
Yeah, you get them certified as an ESA. And you can do some bougie online thing and just pretend you don't have to actually do the ESA part and get them legit certified. But apartment complexes that don't allow dogs have to allow dogs if they're
really?
ESA. Mm-hmm. So that's how a lot of people get away.
And...
Yep. Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter what kind of breed. If they have any breed restrictions. If they have no dog policies, they have to allow you to have that dog because it is your emotional support animal.
That's good to know.
Yeah, so if you ever get a dog and you place on a loud dog, just get as an ESA. They can't tell you nothing.
Smart.
Yeah, so there's like ESA dogs, and then there's you can train aggressive dogs. There's so many different things you can do as far as the training aspect of it. And I was thinking originally I wanted to get in kind of like police work and do some of that protection work with dogs, but then I was like, because some of those dogs aren't suited out for it, and I experienced some of that in Tennessee where they didn't make the cut, and so then they put them to homes as pets, and they're not pets. Once they're aggressive, they're working dogs, and once you start getting them all aggressive and stuff like that, that aggression doesn't leave them, and you didn't finish training them. So now you just gave a pet to somebody who is a working dog and then needs a job to do.
It's like a gun with no safety on it.
Yeah, and then 2, you just made it aggressive. And so like I didn't want to be that guy where I'm putting these dogs out to be harmful to other people, because one of the dogs that was aggressive was that case. It was a police dog. Didn't finish his training, all that other stuff. It's super, super aggressive. Had a couple incidences where it hopped the fence and attacked a runner who was jogging and then just pinned it down. It's got high prey drive.
Oh my God.
I mean, what do you expect? You got the dog cooped up in the backyard like it's a pet, and it's not. It's a working dog. So it hopped the fence and pinned it down, and so they came through.
Oh my God, that'd be terrifying.
Yeah, right? It is a German Shepherd too. Oh, this is a badass dog too. He was dope. I loved working with him. But it's like dogs like that I'm just giving away to people, and like I'm putting other people in harmful situations. So I was like, I'm not about that.
Yeah.
But aggressive dogs are like people's last hopes, where they love the dog, they want this to work out, but there's too many instances where they're attacking people's dogs, so they come to us as their last hope. And if it's either this works or I have to put the dog down. And so I really want to start getting into that aspect of it more so, because I'd like to do that to help people and save dogs' lives and keep your best friend, so to speak, so that you don't have to put it down and just teach you how to harness it.
I love that.
So,
I love everything about that.
Yeah, so I'm more so getting into the aggressive dog aspect of it than anything else.
That's cool, dude.
Yeah, but I love it. But I came back from the training, and we had 3 personal dogs to start off with. Well, we had 2 dogs to start off with, and I just brought a puppy home a long time ago, a year ago, and I was like, and she goes, "That's Casey's dog." I was like, "No, that's our dog." She goes, "No, that's Casey's dog." I was like, "No, that's definitely my dog." And then we ended up keeping it, so we have 3 personal dogs. And then when I came back from the training, I don't know how this happened, but at one point we had 9 dogs at my house.
No way. Do you have enough space for that? I mean, apparently you do.
Yeah, not really, but I mean, we did it. Yeah, we made it work. And so that's when she told me, she goes, "Yeah, I'm a dog person, but you make me not want to be a dog person," because we just had 9 dogs and it was ballistic. 2 of them were puppies. It was crazy. And
do they all have their own kennels? Or like,
yeah. Everybody has their own kennels, and then my 3 dogs just kind of chill and do whatever they want. But we ended up keeping one of the puppies.
Of course.
That was not me. That was her.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 100% her. I was trying to get rid of this dog, and it had some people that were willing to buy it. And then she was like, "No, I don't want him to go to somebody that we don't know." And blah blah blah. And I was like, "All right, fine."
Why'd you have the dog initially, or like
my uncle's? So so my uncle gave me that puppy that I got a year ago. It's a German Shepherd Husky.
Okay.
He breeds them in his backyard,
Okay.
and then he told me he's gonna give me this next litter. And so he just gave me this next litter so I can make a few bucks off of it. You can sell these puppies for like $1,000 a piece.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're like hell. Like I was like, I could use $1,000, a couple $1,000. So I took some of them in, and then my wife fell in love with this dog. Didn't want to give it to anybody that we didn't know.
Yeah.
It's an all white one, so it's the first like all white German Shepherd Husky, and we really wanted to see what it looked like growing up.
Looks like that's
bro, I got pictures. And then she said at first she didn't want to go somewhere to know, and then I was like, oh, I got Jeremy Scott hit me up, and I was like, he'll take it, and she goes, no, I want to keep it, and I was like, babe, come on, and she goes, no, he's not going to him, and I was like, so we're keeping it, and she's like, no, and I was like, what do you want me to tell him? She goes, just tell him no, and I was like, okay, so we're keeping it, and she goes up to me like a couple days later. She goes, "All right, yeah, we're keeping it." But here's the guy.
Oh my god,
he's dope, right?
Adorable.
She names all the dogs human names. Can't stand it. I hate that. So I told her, I was
Kevin.
like, "Yeah, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah." So my dog, she named Jackson.
Okay.
And then we have Ryder and Blake. And then I was like, I gotta name this dog. I was like, we'll keep it, but I'm naming the dog. So I named him Zazu because we were watching the Lion King. Yeah, and I was like, that's the king's right hand man. I was like, I'm the king. He's gonna be my right hand man. So I named him Zazu,
I like that.
and it's Swahili. And funny enough, my sister-in-law speaks Swahili.
Oh, really?
So I'm gonna train him in Swahili. Yeah, he's gonna be.
There's so many questions off that sentence, dude.
Right? He's gonna be trained in English and in Swahili, so he'll be bilingual.
Damn, it's like a little beaner dog.
Yeah.
Why does she speak Swahili?
She's in the Swahili congregation. She serves as one of Jehovah's Witnesses in the Swahili congregation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so she does Swahili.
So is she in Kenya?
No, she's here.
Oh, she's here. Okay.
Yeah, apparently there's a need for it here. So
oh, okay, awesome.
She does, yeah. It's good for her, I guess.
That's crazy. Oh man, I'm trying to think of this whole dog thing. That thing hit me out of like left field.
Yeah.
So is this like to do this training? Were you working with animals before, or you just like like this is something I want to do? I'm gonna dish out the money. I'm gonna do this. And
so I was going through like really good career path. I was working for Safe Light Auto Glass.
Yeah. That's where Quick from, right?
Yeah. I was working there with Quick. And
so it was pretty chill. Like this.
Yeah, it was a hella chill job, bro. That was probably one of my favorite jobs.
Really?
Legit, because the people there were super, super dope. Like, my coworkers were awesome. My boss was probably the greatest boss I've ever had in my life. Cool. He's to this day like family to me. He's dope. But I was started off as a warehouse worker for 3 years. I was there, and I got promoted every year that I was there.
Nice.
Like, I was climbing the ladder, and they offered me multiple positions to be a warehouse manager in other places, making like $60,000-$70,000 a year in like North Carolina, where I'm from. Mm-hmm. So I was like hella stoked about that. But then my wife was like, "No, I gotta stay in California." So I was like, "All right, keep the wife happy." So I turned that down. But then I ended up losing that job, and then it just spiraled downhill from there. I went.
What happened? If you don't mind me asking.
Hey, I don't.
Okay.
It was my fault. I was a dumbass, bro. I was taking the company gas card and putting gas into my own car because they allowed me to use the company van to go home every day, and I was like, "Oh, this is chill." And then I didn't like the company van, and we weren't supposed to take the company van. So I was like, if you're going to let me use company van and company gas, I'll just use the gas from my own car. And plus, on top of that, I did a lot of work for them with my own personal car because there wasn't a tracker in my car. So I could speed, and so when we needed hot shots for technicians that broke glass and stuff like that, if it could fit in my car, we'd put it in my car, and I'd speed down there to get the customer there. So I was doing work in my own personal vehicle for them as well. Yeah. So all that together, I was like, I'll just use the gas card.
You find some way just fine.
And I was the warehouse lead, so I was like, hey, no one can ask no questions.
Yeah.
And then corporate found out somehow, and then they're basically like, hey, look, man, you've been doing this for so long. And it's either go to jail or quit right now.
Really?
Yeah, they're like either go to jail or quit right now. We'll say we have nothing. I was like,
all right, later, guys. Thank you.
I was like, appreciate you giving me the heads up. It's been a lovely time, and I'll see you guys later.
That's crazy.
So I screwed that one up for myself, but I was going somewhere with it, and I was really excited, and I loved it. I was being stupid.
How long ago was this? This wasn't too long ago, right?
No, it was long ago. It was a long time ago. Yes, probably like 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 years ago. It was a long time ago. Maybe even 3. But it started spiraling down from there, bro. I went to Baker Electric, and then I lost that job because of contract issues. They're a construction company, and they lost some contracts, and so they had to cut the last 2 people that were recently hired, and I was at the bottom of that list. So I got cut there, and then I got another job with Rexel. It was a terrible company, the most disorganized company ever. And I came from being like a warehouse lead, so like I was in somewhat management, and I knew how a warehouse was supposed to run, and they did not run it proper. So I was always in my manager's face, like, "Hey man, you need to do this. Hey man, you need to do that." And they didn't like him.
What kind of company were they?
It was a delivery company, so we drove those like 20-foot flatbed trucks, and we delivered like solar equipment and stuff like that.
Oh, nice.
So, but I was constantly in his face like, "Y'all, you need to do this. You need to do this, man." Like I was
you don't shut up.
Oh no, I
speak your mind.
Yeah, I do, because that's the only way we're gonna get better. You know what I'm saying? So
I respect it. That's something that I don't have.
Yeah.
Like I'll eat the punches, or I'll do as I'm told. So that's like one of my downfalls. I'm not assertive. Or I'm not that guy like this.
I'm not really assertive either, but I'm the type of dude that's like, if you're not gonna come with a solution, I'll give you a solution. Yeah. If you don't like my solution, then we can talk about it. We can get a new solution. But this sucks. And you gotta understand that this sucks.
That's quite good to have.
Yeah. So I try to do that, and I expect people to do the same thing with me. Like I was so pissed, bro, because part of this dog job was editing videos. Mm-hmm. So we do like a before video and then an after video, and we put it into one. It's a transformation video, and I made my first video, and I hit up my friend who's a video editor. And I was like, "Hey man, be honest with me. Tear this video apart. It's the only way I'm gonna get better." Yeah. And then he texted me like 2 days later. He goes, "Sorry man, I like the video. Good job." And I'm like, "Man," I was like, "I picked like 10 things out that I hated about it, and I'm not even a video editor." I was like, "You're just being nice, bro." So I hate that kind of stuff. So I'm just that guy that I expect a lot out of myself. So I expect a lot out of other people too. So I holding people accountable is kind of like what I do, but I guess I overstepped my boundaries and telling them all that, like, and so he kicked me to the curb. Yeah, he fired me because I was flirting with his job, and the upper management did not like him, and he was on the verge of getting fired. And then I was making some changes without his permission. It was making the company better, and it wasn't like I was breaking any rules, but it was just running more smoothly. And then he said, "You gotta go," and he kind of set me up, and then hit me up. Yeah. We had to have our company phones on us at all times, and I had struggled with it at first. It was a brand new job for me, and I was just like, "Hey man, can I just keep my company phone in my truck? And then that way I'll just charge it every day in the truck, and I'll have it on me at all times, so I won't forget it at the shop." Because it's so disorganized in the mornings when we come in that I forget to, take the cell phone. So I was like, "Can I do that?" And he's like, "Yeah." And so he took my truck out for maintenance when I had left after work one day, and then brought in a rental truck, and my phone was in there, and then I was driving the rental truck all day, and they're like, "We couldn't get a hold of you all day. We didn't know where you weren't answering your phone." I was like, "My phone was in the truck that you sent to go get maintenance, and I keep my phone in my truck." I was like, "What are you talking about?" And on top of that, I had already spoken to somebody from the office that day. I was like, "So if you were trying to get a hold of me, why didn't they tell me that you're trying to get a hold of me?" And he was like, "I see where you're coming from, but it's just not going to work out." And I was like, "Oh, okay." Yeah, just like that. Damn. So I lost that job, and then I didn't work for the longest time, bro.
So you was Ubering for a while, right?
Yeah, I Ubered for like a hot minute, and then it wasn't worth it to me. Because in the end of it, you're putting gas into your car, you're doing all this other stuff, and you gotta save about 50% for taxes, because if you want any kind of tax return, getting money back, you should probably store 50%. Yeah. And I like getting money back at the end of the year, so I'm much more like save the 50%. And then at the end of the day, I was like when I was calculating and all, I was making like $10 an hour, $11 an hour, and I was like, "It's not worth my time, bro." So I just went into like this deep depression. Like I was just like so butthurt, whatever. And then I was doing some work for my mom up in San Francisco. And then we talked about getting my dog trained, Jackson. And she goes, "You just redo my whole garage and I'll pay for Jackson to get trained. It's like a $3,000 training, like $2,885, something like that." Oh, damn. So I was like, "All right, bet." And I went up there, I cleaned out the garage, I got my dog trained, I sent them to off-leash canine. And then I was just talking to the dude. I was like, how do you even get into that? And he goes, we have a job opening right now. I was like, sign me up.
Really?
Yeah. I said, sign me up. I applied.
Damn, so this wasn't even in your head at all.
No, not in my head at all. There was no
crazy.
plan. There was nothing. It just came to me. And I was like, dope. And so I said, sign me up. I applied. I met with the dude. Everything worked out. And then my mom paid or helped me pay for my trip to Tennessee. Mm-hmm. And then the rest is history. I just started about 2 weeks ago with my first board and train dog.
That's awesome.
And so yeah, I love it, bro. I get to stay home. I work from home. I get to be with my dogs at all times. I get to make my own schedule. I don't have to be any specific place at any specific time other than lessons on Saturdays. And outside of that, I get to do whatever I want with my week.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah. So
how does that work? So do you just work under them, like under like an umbrella, or
yeah,
like, do you answer anyone directly? Or?
Yeah, I got a boss.
Okay.
I'm an employee. I just use my house as my own facility.
Okay.
And then I just train dogs. That's it. I choose when to train them. As long it doesn't matter. Just as long as at the end of the 2 weeks they know all the commands.
Hell.
Yeah. It's a lot that goes into it. Like, I'm making it sound like hella chill.
No, I know.
But, like, I have to update the clients. I have to take videos. I have to take photos. I have to, like, I have to make a whole video at the end of it. I have to keep in constant update with the clients. I have to monitor the dog's weight. I have to feed it. Like, I'm taking care of a dog. Like, there's a lot that goes into it. I'm cleaning the house every single day because they shed and it's crazy. Yeah. Crazy messy. So, every day I clean the house about twice a day. So I mean, it's busy, but I love my job so much that it's like not even work to me.
That's so cool, dude.
Yeah.
I'm pumped for you, dog.
Yeah.
Just 2 weeks in, that's exciting.
Yeah, I love it, bro. And so like I right now I'm getting some tough clients who are like a little bit psycho, but I just chill. I don't even care. Like I just get to kick it with dogs all day. You kidding me?
Awesome.
It's like super stress free, bro. It's really relaxing. So
that's cool, dude. Good for you.
Yeah, I'm
super.
super.
I'm legit pumped for you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So that's my passion: football and dogs.
That's funny. I had no clue. I had no clue.
Dogs are just my thing.
Dude, so you're from North Carolina originally?
Yeah.
Born and raised, or?
No, so I was born in Puyallup, Washington State.
Okay.
And then my parents got divorced when I was 3 years old, and so I moved from Washington to North Carolina from the time I was 3 years old to about 14.
Is it your mom, dad?
Yeah, with my mom.
What's your mom?
And my dad moved back down to California.
Okay.
And my mom moved to Carolina.
Why is that?
I guess my grandma was in Carolina at the time. So she moved to get some help with my grandma. And then I would fly occasionally back and forth to California to visit my dad during like the summers and stuff like that. And then
what part of California?
Here. And
okay.
Yeah, all over. I've been. He originally, when I was traveling, was over there by Market Street, over there by 47, by the graveyard and Gompers. Yeah, in the ghetto, over there by Gompers and stuff like that. But yeah, so that's primarily where I grew up in San Diego. But then I've moved so much since being in California. I've lived in San Diego, Chula Vista, Imperial Beach, El Cajon, just a bunch of different places.
So you're familiar with the whole area?
Yeah, pretty much. The only place I haven't lived is up north.
One day I get there.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll travel my way up there. But I was mostly there in North Carolina from like 3 to 14.
Okay.
And then I moved out here.
Damn. How'd you like it? How'd you like living out there?
Carolina, I love it, bro.
Really?
I'm Carolina to my core. If my wife says today, let's move to Carolina, I'm leaving yesterday. Like, yeah, that's my place, bro.
Why? It's just like the atmosphere.
It's home. It's the southern, hospitality. That's a real thing, bro.
Is it?
Yeah. I'm like over here. I'm driving like 80 miles down the freeway, and people are flipping me off, and I'm just like, hey, I've got somewhere I gotta go. In North Carolina, you go drive down 80, people slide on over. You drive, we wave to each other, and then they slide back, bro. It's just nice, and everybody there is just hospitable. I open the doors. I'm very that's like my thing. Like I have to open doors for people when I see it. I don't know why, but they say thank you out here. Some people don't say nothing. That's like my biggest pet peeve. I'm like, you can say thank you. Like I didn't have to do this, but it's just that it's quiet. It's beautiful. It's cheap.
Did you grow up or did you live in like a rural area, or was it like in a big city?
No, I lived from a small town in Cary. Apex, that area, and it's a very, very small town, and then it grew up to be kind of like a city, I guess, now. but not too far off from Raleigh, the capital
Okay.
of North Carolina. But I love everything about Carolina, bro. It's rooted in me.
So what you want?
And there was like turtles. It was.
How many bedrooms is this house?
Let me see. There's 1, 2, 3, and then the downstairs basement converted into 1, so that's 4. And then the backyard garage was 1. We converted into a studio, so that's 5. And that one has like
That's
a bedroom
freaking
and
compound.
shower and stuff. Yep. And then we stayed in the shed in the back. That we just emptied out, threw a fan in that bitch, and put a bed there, and we were good. And we lived there, so like technically like 6.
I'm gonna go.
Oh, wait.
Assume they're Mexican.
Oh no! Wait, there's 1 upstairs too, the tower room. So there's 7. 7 spots.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad.
Yeah. And then we had this one lady that lived in an RV outside of the house. So there's
Oh
people,
God,
bro.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah, it was crazy. And so we lived there. Dad moved away, whatever. She's still on this street her whole life. We're married. She hasn't even left this street. We get married and we live 2 blocks down the street.
Of course.
She hasn't even got out of El Cajon, bro. So she's got her big family. She's very in her comfort zone, and I mean, like I said, she hasn't even left the city yet. So to ask her to move to a different state,
across the world, essentially.
It's not fair of me to do to her. So I don't mind it. I got a bunch of people out here that I love. I got a life out here.
Yeah.
We'd have to start over there. The only real reason I'd move back to North Carolina is because it's way cheaper, like night and day cheaper. I've got I pay $17.50 for rent for a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom duplex.
Where you at right now?
Mm-hmm. And that's just rent. And in North Carolina, that same spot would probably be about $800.
Yeah.
So just that alone is just
San Diego's crazy. I mean, that's why we freaking live down in Mexico, dog.
Yeah.
It's just so much cheaper.
Way cheaper.
San Diego's crazy.
It's dumb. It's like there's no point to this. So I'm trying, but I'm gonna stay out here probably for the rest of my life. I don't mind it.
So do you still have family out there?
In North Carolina? Yeah, very few. My mom moved up to San Francisco, so she moved a few years ago to San Francisco. And then I got my grandparents and my uncle and aunts out there.
Okay.
Yeah. So I still got a couple family members out there.
Damn, so you came out here at 14. Like, it's like when you settled in California, San Diego.
Yeah, I got in some trouble in North Carolina and I got kicked out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Alright.
We can dive into that one. I got kicked out
So
of...
my mom's like, hey, you gotta go with your dad.
Basically, so I got kicked out of Wake County Public Schools, the whole county, for a year. I got suspended instead of expelled.
Fighting.
I'll tell you.
Okay.
I got kicked out for a whole year, and the next county over was like 3 hours away where I could attend school. And with my mom having to go to work, she didn't have the time to drive me out there. So I got sent to live out here with my pops that I hadn't spoken to in like 4 years.
Really?
Yeah, so that was fun. Me and my dad, we don't get along too. We butt heads a lot. But so my dad's a gang member, or was. Now he's a devout Jehovah's Witness. But he was a gangbanger over there on Market Street. Tatted up, everything,
Really?
bro, like everything. And he's seen a lot. He's been in jail a couple times. He was the driver of this car that was shooting back at the cops, like crazy stuff, bro. Yeah, like he's dumb. But but he became one of Jehovah's Witnesses, and then he got all his tattoos removed, laser removed. Like,
what does that look like afterwards?
It's actually not that bad.
Really?
To be honest with you, there's a couple one, like I can still see Market Street on his back over here. I can still kind of see that a little bit, and the spider web that he had on his elbow, I can see those two a little bit, but everything else is kind of like gone.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so they did a really good job, but it's more painful getting a laser.
That's what I've heard.
Than getting the actual tattoo. But he was involved with gangs, and so me as a dumbass kid, I was never like in gangs. He was in gangs. I was never in gangs, but I was like affiliated with them. And so I was
boys.
Like, yeah, and North Carolina's hanging around the wrong kids, wrong crowd. And I thought it was dope, and I wasn't. I thought it was so cool, bro. I was like, hell yeah, I'm a gangbanger. And I was like, nah, stop it.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can easily see that.
Yeah, so I got caught up with the wrong crowd, and so my thing was like selling knives.
Okay.
Like I just had a real thing for knives. I don't know why. It's weird, bro. Carolina, we weird, bro. There's nothing to do but do drugs, play sports, or get into some weird shit.
That's what I say about the Midwest, dude. You're gonna drink, do drugs, and have sex.
Yeah, it's one of those things, bro. So,
or sports.
Yeah,
sports.
So I was really into knives for some reason. I don't know. Weird thing about me. But I would just sell knives, and I don't know how. I think I was talking to females or whatever, but I would rack my cell phone bill up to like $500.
Oh, damn.
And my mom was tripping on me, and I was like, I'll get it paid, whatever. And so I started selling knives, and then I bought one knife from my friend Bobby, and it was a switchblade, and switchblades are illegal in North Carolina. Not only was the switchblade illegal in North Carolina, but the blade itself in length was illegal too. But he had sold me a busted knife. It was his pop's knife, and he had just come to school the other day with a broken hand from getting into it with his pops. So they already had a bad relationship, whatever. So he sells me a knife. I'm like, I don't care. That's your decision.
Yeah.
Right? So I had it. The lock on it was broken because it's a flip.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a switchblade. You press a button, that bitch flips out. So the lock is broken. So I brought it back the next day, and it's in my pocket. And the teacher's walking by, and I don't know how, I was like moving my leg. I do this a lot. I don't know why, but I do this a lot. And I guess I was doing that. And then it just pressed the button, and something opens up really fast in my pocket. And she goes, what was that? Yeah. And I was like, a mechanical pencil. She goes, mechanical pencil don't look like that. I was like, I don't know what to tell you. It's a mechanical pencil. She goes, let me see it. I was like, nah. I was like, nah, you can't see it. And so she goes, come to my office. I was like, damn, all right. So I get into the office, and she's calling the resource officer for the school that we had. And she can't search me legally, so she has to bring the officer.
Okay.
So while her back was turned, I thought I'd be slick, and I was gonna take the pocket out, and then I was gonna put it in my shoe, and I was gonna just step on it because they're not gonna check my shoes. They're gonna search me, and I'm like, I ain't got nothing. It's not my first rodeo. I did the same thing the other day. the teacher came out and he's like, I'll tell you about that story too, bro. I was a little dumbass kid, bro. I really was. But I took it out, and right here, bro, she looks. I'm like,
damn it!
All right, you got me. I was like, here you go, my bad. I tried. Yeah. And then we go to the principal's office, and she goes, where do you get this from? I was like, I found it. And she was like, no, you didn't. And I was like, I did. She goes, who gave you this knife? I was like, I don't know what to tell you. I found it. And then so like I'm just I'm that type of dude. Like I'm not gonna rat nobody out. Yeah. But Bobby's dumbass, bro, he was so scared that I was going to say something that he just ratted himself out.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, and so she was literally, the principal was sitting there staring me in the eyes, and she was like, I'm going to expel you. And I was like, I found it. Yeah. And she goes, all right, well, then we're just going to have to call your mom and expel you. And while she was saying that, Bobby's dumbass walks into the room, sits right down next to me, and looks at the principal and says, that's my knife. And I'm like, dog, now I'm in more trouble, bro. Like, I just lied to them, and you over here telling them. Oh, it was crazy, whatever. So he rats himself out. We're sitting there chilling, and then they kick us out. They're going to call our parents, whatever. So the resource officer, the teacher, and the principal are all sitting in the office, door closed. We're outside in the hallway sitting on the benches. And then
Bobby, were you guys talking, or were you guys just like
me and Bobby?
Yeah.
Oh, we were just chatting it up. So I was talking to Bobby. He's like, man, my dad's gonna kill me. He was telling me about his broken arm or whatever. He's like, he's legit gonna kill me. That was his knife. I was like, what you trying to do? And he goes, we could run away and we could go to Virginia, which ain't that too far from North Carolina. And he goes, I got my uncle down there. He'll take us. And I was like, all right, bet, let's go. And so he dips, bro, and he just runs. I was like, oh shit, we're really doing this. And so I get up and I run.
I ran out of the school office.
Just dipped out of the school office, and we're running down the stairs. And then there's the other teacher that's coming, and she goes, where are you guys going? And she goes like this, and Bobby clotheslines her. Bro, crazy. I was like, damn. And so we were running. Bobby clotheslined the teacher. He's in front of me. And then the resource officer is chasing us back down. And it's wooded areas. It's North Carolina. It's a wooded area. So we literally, where I used to stay was a neighborhood right here. And the school was right here. And I'd walk to school every day. And so we dipped into those woods. And we were gone. Gone, bro. And so my mom was calling me crying, like it was crazy, bro. And we were walking, it's called the Greenway.
Walking Virginia.
Yeah, well, we were trying to figure it out, and we were walking down the Greenway, and we were going. I don't even know where we were going, bro. To be honest with you, we had no plan.
Yeah, you were 14.
Yeah, we had nothing. I think I was in like ninth grade? Yeah, like ninth grade. So we had nothing, bro, and so we were still walking, and then all of a sudden we get creeped out because Bobby's a white dude, by the way. And then we were walking down, and we saw like this area that looked like some KKK stuff.
No,
Dead ass, bro. It was these. Oh man,
what does that even
deep
look like?
into the woods. So it looked like a bunch of
imagine like a circle of rocks or something. I don't know.
No, it was I don't know, marble or rock or brick, whatever it was. But there were wells. There's like multiple wells, and there's big blocks of wood over the wells, and then there's a bunch of white pointed hoods just hanging on these like little clothesline things.
That's terrifying.
It was creepy, bro. And so I was like, I'm not. You safe? I'm not.
Yeah.
So we did. And so I'm telling them, I'm like, bro, my aunt's a cop. I'll call her up. She won't arrest us. We'll be chilling, bro.
Yeah.
Let me just call her up real quick. And he goes, whatever. So the cops, while we're out here, mind you, we left at like 9 a.m., 10 a.m. It was in the morning. And we didn't get back to school after the whole situation occurred till like 4 p.m.
Oh, damn.
So we were gone for a lot of the
roaming.
day. Yeah, we were traveling. My mom's crying, calling. It was crazy. And then I call my aunt, and she comes and picks us up. I tell her where we're at. And then she goes, I'm sorry, I gotta do this, but I gotta search you. She pats us down, puts us in handcuffs, and puts us in the back of the car. But the whole time that we were gone, they were searching our houses, and I was clean. They found a couple of knives, but all my knives were legal.
Yeah.
But Bobby was not. Bobby, they found like a pound of marijuana in his car, in his underneath his bed, like crazy stuff. So Bobby had a bunch of illegal stuff in his house, but I was straight. And with my aunt being a cop and my mom and my grandpa being who they were, my grandpa's in the military and stuff like that. So I had good influences in my life. So I didn't get any charges pressed against me. Bobby did, and he ended up going to juvie.
Really?
And they were trying to press charges on me for like hitting the teacher. It's like I didn't even touch the teacher. So there's a bunch of stuff like that going on. But
it's crazy.
Yeah, instead of going to juvie, I got suspended from Wake County Public School Systems for a whole year. Yeah, and so then I ended up coming out here, and I moved with my dad, and then we butted heads because he was at the time when Joe was witness, and I was like,
What were you thinking coming out here, dog? Like,
I was terrified.
You said you hadn't talked to your dad in 4 years.
I was terrified. It was a couple of years, and I was terrified, bro. I was like, I don't know what we're about to do, because he tried to study with me in North Carolina, and I was like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I'm not interested.
Yeah, and so he would just we just butted heads. We just from the jump. As soon as I got there, we butted heads.
It's just because he's trying to give you rules.
And he like back in North Carolina, I'm the man of the house. I'm a kid, but I'm still the man of the house. And then I come over here, and now he's the man of the house. And I was like, who are you? Like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, I don't even like you like that.
And you're at your most rebellious.
Yeah, I'm 14 years old. I'm like the most rebellious I've ever been in my life. I just got kicked out of a whole county public school systems. Like, you really about to tell me
set
something?
Up for failure.
Yep. And so I came out here, and he didn't even pay too much attention to my schooling. Out here, I got kicked out of several schools.
Oh, really?
Several schools.
What schools you go to?
I went to Chula Vista High School.
Okay.
And I got kicked out of that one. I went to a private school when I first came out here because they're the only ones who would have taken me. I don't even remember.
Oh, yeah.
And then I went to Diego Hills Charter. I went to Julian Charter School. I went to there's one more school. I don't remember.
Were you just a badass, or did you just not do your work, or you just not ditching? Or
I was a dumbass kid. Yeah, that's all it was.
Just didn't care.
Yeah, I didn't care once. So that's the other story I was going to tell you. The one school, Julian Charter School, I got kicked out of that one for threatening a kid. I still had my knives. I was still into knives, and I had a knife, whatever. And I always carried a knife on me. And then I had bought some weed from this one dude, and he found out. And so it was this nerdy ass, like kiss ass, teacher's pet. Everybody hated him. And his name was Dominique. And oh God, we all hated him. He was just such a kiss ass, bro. And so he saw the weed, and he was gonna tell me, and I took my knife out, I flipped that bitch. I said, "Tell him, you see what happens." And then he runs and he tells on me. I was like, "Damn, I ain't gonna do nothing." So I flipped that bitch, and then
closed it right back up. Packed up my backpack.
All right, you got me again. Oh man, I was such a dumbass, bro. And so the teacher came out, and that was one of the things where I was good at hiding it. I put my weed in my binder, and I put my knife in my binder. And then he was searching me, and they didn't find anything. I was like, I don't even know what he's talking about. He goes, this kid is literally in my office, shaking, scared, and blah, blah, blah. He goes, you're telling me you didn't have a knife? I was like, you just searched me, bro. Like, I don't got nothing.
Yeah.
And so, my dad picked me up from that school. That was a whole different thing, too. And that school I got kicked out of. And then I got, I don't know, not a restraining order, but I'm not allowed on that campus at all.
86 for there.
Yeah, pretty much. And then the other ones, like I didn't do my homework. Chula Vista High School. I threw a trash can at a teacher. I was just, bro, I was on some dumb shit, bro.
Do you have like anger things or?
No, I'm not angry. I just at that time I was an absent father figure, 14-year-old rebellious kid. Yeah, so I was just being dumb, and then on top of that, I got to move out here. And now I'm living with your dumb ass that I don't agree with, and now I'm fighting with you all the time at home, and so like it was just all that stuff. But like as a person, I'm like a really happy person. Growing up now, but back then I was just like a really angry kid, and I didn't really understand what life was, and I didn't really have a grasp on life, and so
how old are you right now?
I'm 25, going on 26 in a couple months.
Young blood.
Yeah, super young. I'm still learning. But at the time, I was just being stupid.
Yeah, because I mean, talking to you and knowing you now, dude, is like I can't imagine you.
Way different.
I can't imagine you just like going off the wall like that.
No, I'd never associate with those people a day in my life. I would never get angry. Like, for now, it takes so much to get me angry. Like, it's not even funny. Like, you really got to be pushing my buttons to piss me off. Like, I don't get mad at all. Unless, like, we're playing football and, like, we're passionate and stuff like that.
I see on the football field, and even it's like,
that's where I put my anger at.
So, like, I've never been like, oh, damn, like, Eric's going to freaking hit me or something like that.
Oh, it's part of the game. Yeah. I'm very, like, I put all my energy into football. And that's kind of where, I guess, I was able to learn to harness my aggression. But yeah, I'm generally not an angry person at all. Like, anybody you talk to, like, I'm super happy, like, all the time. Even when I was, like, going through my depression, I still showed that, like, super happy face. And I was always laughing, always smiling. Like, that's just generally who I am, because now, at this point in my life, I'm just kind of like, you know what? It's not even worth it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not worth it to be mad. It's not worth it to be sad.
Life's
like,
too short, dude.
It is, bro. So there's no reason why you shouldn't just be happy all the time. And I just kind of learned and figured out how to handle my own emotions. And I was like, dude, you literally are the only person who can make yourself mad.
100%.
Like, I can't sit here and be like, you pissed me off. You didn't piss me off. I let myself get pissed off. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I just learned how to control my own emotions and stuff like that. And when people were being, like, hella racist to me and doing dumb shit, I was just like...
Who's being racist to you?
Oh, bro, my whole life, bro. North Carolina, it's segregated as hell. In North Carolina, I was getting made fun of because I was Mexican. And then when I come out here to be with my family out here, they would make fun of me and beat me up and do all dumb shit because I was Mexican and couldn't speak Spanish.
Yeah.
So my
Can't win, huh?
Dog, I couldn't, bro. So I didn't fit out with the Mexican crowd out here, and I didn't fit in out there in North Carolina with the white kids. So I kind of stuck around the black culture, and those were really the kids that I hung around with, and the only ones that took me in.
That's funny. So, you hear those stories, but I never know. Like, I mean, unless people like you who grew up like in the culture, like in the areas, like how still like racial tension or segregation is in the South and the Midwest, like just. Different.
Yeah, I'm talking like we had moved from like the ghetto area of North Carolina, from like Kingswood over to Cary, which was like the nicer area. And when I got there, I'd met my first friends. They were white dudes, and we're talking like 5th grade, so I was like what 9, 10 years old. Yeah. So I met my first friends, and then the white kids their thing was like to fight in the backyard, but they would go a lot harder on me than on other people. They'd get
it's like bump fight, or just like freaking like Kimbo Slice fighting, or
like like Kimbo Slice fighting. So they would just jump me in the yard, and it was fun, and I was just trying to fit in, so I was rocking with the white kids. Yeah. And then his name was Alan. He was an older kid, and then Clark, who was still like a really good friend of mine to this day after we grew apart from that dumb stuff. Yeah. But yeah, they would beat me up in the front yard just for shits and giggles. Damn. And so yeah, I got a scar right here from a paintball gun from my cousins out here. My Mexican cousins who just shot me point blank. I still got that. That was when I was like 8. 8 years old. I still got the scar to this day. So it was just a crazy stuff, bro. And so I was just, there's a lot of racial stuff over there, and there's, I know I wouldn't say racist because they're Mexicans. They just didn't want to fuck with me because
Yeah.
So
You're not Mexican enough.
yeah, I wasn't Mexican enough, and so I was like, all right, bro. So I really just kicked it with the only people that would kick it with me, and that was Michael and Jamonte, and that was pretty much it.
Michael and Jamonte.
Yeah, those are my best friends in North Carolina, Michael and Jamonte.
I love that name.
Yeah, there's this girl, my favorite black name ever. Her name was Shaqualla.
Oh yeah.
Yo, she was ghetto, bro. Like super ghetto. She was the most ghetto girl in our school. She was scary. Ain't nobody mess with Shaqualla.
There's always that one black shit. Like,
yeah.
Not even any guys trying to fight her.
No, bro. And she threw down.
Yeah, she put hands on everyone.
Oh, everybody, bro.
She hit puberty way too soon.
Yeah, she was that girl. You know exactly who I'm talking about. She tall. She like 6 foot in 5th grade.
She has a jawline than me. Who's giving you testosterone on the
she
side?
was skinny, but she was ripped. Yeah, she was that girl, bro. She had the dreads and everything.
That's funny.
It's that girl. That's so funny. It's a typical girl. Yeah,
100%.
that was her.
There's always one.
She was the one, bro.
Damn. So you're a low key like a, let's say outcast, but you're just on the fringe, like like all growing up or all growing through your life. What it sounds like.
Yeah, pretty much. And now it's funny because I grew up around like the black culture and stuff like that. And even out here, I got a ton of black friends. But
hey, when you pulled up, I thought some black dude like rolling
yeah.
to the driveway. I was like, oh damn.
No, I just grew up on that music. But funny enough, my best friends are white. My 2 best friends. I keep my circle hella small, bro.
Really?
Hella small. And so my 2 best friends are Riley Tate and Casey. And those are my guys. And that's it. That's where I cut that off at.
I don't know Riley, but I mean I know Riley, but I don't know Riley like that. But from what I know, Casey's a cool cat.
Yeah, Casey's a good ass dude. That's
like I have nothing negative to say against him.
No, Casey's one of the most loyal, and that's me. I'm very like loyal. You ask anybody, I'm like the most loyal person in the whole entire world. Like loyalty is like everything to me. Probably because everybody kind of just like outcasted me. Yeah. So loyalty was a big thing for me, and so like Casey and Riley have just been my day ones. I mean Casey, I needed a trip to the hospital. He called out of work so he could take me to the hospital.
No way.
Yeah, so he's anything Casey needs, I got him. Like the other day, he busted his jaw.
I saw.
You saw that?
You showed the picture?
I think I showed you the picture. Yeah.
Oh man, it looked bad.
It was nasty, bro. That was gruesome. I've never seen anybody do stitches before, so I saw that. But I was just chilling at home, and he had nobody to pick him up, so I just cruised down there, picked him up, we chilled at the hospital for 5 hours.
And that was just football, right? Like,
yeah, it was just football.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he got busted. But we're like when we were out there, he's like, "Oh, put Eric on my emergency contact list." Because I mean, literally every single time he's gone to the hospital, and every single time I've gone to the hospital for football or injuries or whatever it be, we've always taken each other to the hospital.
How'd you guys meet? Or how'd you
through Riley. Okay. So Riley is my wife's cousin.
Okay.
And he became my best friend. And then when I was coming up to El Cajon from Imperial Beach to kick it with my wife, I met Riley. And
this is like when we started dating?
Mm-hmm, yep. And we dated when I was like 17. So I've been with her since I was 17. And then Riley, I met through her, and then we became roommates. And then
you and Riley?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, damn.
Me and Riley lived together for like two years.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then Casey, I met through Riley because Riley grew up with Casey and his brother Charles. And then Casey lived with us as well. And it was me, Casey, and Riley for like a year and a half, and then me, Casey, Riley, and Trey for like 6 months.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, so it was a dope apartment.
I can't imagine.
Bro, I had so much fun, bro. We used to have airsoft guns, all of us.
Oh, God.
As soon as you walk through the door, we just sit there. As soon as you walk through the door, bro.
I feel like a dad because the first thing I think is like, oh, you're going to shoot an eye out.
Yeah, no, bro, it was crazy. Dogs were barking in the apartment complex. We were just running, shooting, dodging. And like you see, we have the glow in the dark ones, and all up in the carpet, you turn the light off, and they're just glowing in the dark.
These are assholes.
Yeah, it was fun, bro. Living with them was a lot of fun. I miss it. But yeah, I lived with them. Then afterwards, me, Casey, and Riley just all stayed in contact.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
How'd you meet your lady, your wife?
Friend through friend. Yeah, I met her.
I feel like you've always been a ladies' man too.
Nah.
I mean, you just chop it down.
I did.
I can just imagine that, dude.
Here's the thing about my wife is that
mouthpiece.
So she told me, I was really into her. I saw her and I was like, oh, that's the one, I really want to date her. And then she used to always tell me, she goes, I can never like a dude like you. She goes, yeah, pretty much. She goes, you're an asshole, you're ghetto, and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, because she's Native American and white.
Okay.
And so she's very much like into white guys. And
okay.
so I was like, I didn't fit. I had a chain,
white guy.
bro. Yeah, I had a chain. I had the buzz cut. I talk different from all the white guys that she's. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm not like, hello there. Like I don't talk like that. So I was very much different from the guys that she wanted to be with. And then I used to always tell her, it's like, nah, you gonna like me. I was like, there's never been a girl that I've liked that didn't like me back. I was like, you're gonna like me.
Damn.
I used to tell
you got that kind of arrogance.
Yeah,
Confidence.
Yeah, slight confidence.
Yeah.
So I used to tell her all the time, and I was like, no, you're gonna like me. And then I fell in love with her, and she still didn't like me.
Really?
I was like, damn, because she was my best friend.
Okay.
She was my best friend before we ever started dating for like, I think, first year, almost a year.
She's Jehovah's Witness?
Yeah, okay. She is, and I was too. Currently, I still am. I'm just inactive. Gotcha. I cuss a lot.
I was gonna ask you about that too.
Yeah, I cuss a lot.
That.
Yeah. But yeah, she's still one. She was and is. But yeah, I met her, and then I used to tell her all the time. I was like, "You're gonna fall in love with me." I was like, and she goes, no. I'm like, we're gonna get married. And she goes, or not. I was like, all right, whatever. He's like, you keep telling yourself that. I was like, well, we're gonna get married. And then sure enough, we got married like 5 years later. We've been married for almost 4 years now.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. So you got married what? 21?
Yeah, I got married at 21.
Damn. How old is she?
She's same age.
Oh,
we're a couple months apart.
I thought I got married too young. No, you know what? At the time, I spent a lot of time in the church too. Not Jehovah's Witness church, but just St. Christian church. And I thought like I got married at 24. And then I was like, oh damn, like it took so long. Dude, like all my buddies that was around, like they got married like 21, 22, like right after college. You get married, have your family, all that. So at 24, I thought I was like a late bloomer. But now looking back, I'm like, damn.
I'm the same way.
You waited till like now. I wouldn't even been married now.
To be honest with you, we got married because her family was like, we don't want you guys to have sex before marriage.
Yeah,
and blah, blah, blah. And
it's big. It's a big thing. Dude.
Yeah, it's huge.
It sounds stupid, especially if you're not familiar with like the religion in general, but it's a real thing.
Yeah, it's like a big deal. So they were kind of like really pushing for marriage at the time. We'd already been together for like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And so they didn't want us to slip up, which we never did. We didn't slip up at all.
Oh,
I was chilling. Yeah, I was chilling with it because I had already had sex as a kid.
Like, I know what it is.
It sounds terrible. I had already had sex as a kid, but I mean it is what it is.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, I was 14 when I lost my virginity, so like I was
ladies.
I was a kid. So, but I had already had sex and did all the dumb stuff, so I wasn't even tripping on it. And she's never had sex; she was a virgin. But we did really good, whatever. But I didn't want to get married yet. I still wanted to like establish myself in work. I had just started at Safe Flight. I was working for like $12 an hour. I had nowhere to go. Like we just didn't have what we should have had. You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
And looking back, like I always tell her, my wife, she always gets mad at me for saying it. But like I wish we would have waited a little bit longer.
Yeah.
I would never not want to marry her. I just wish we would have waited a little bit longer so that I could just have more security.
Stability, yeah, for sure.
Because it was rough. It sucked. It sucked living in a compound with 12 other people. Ain't nobody in a shed. You know what I'm sayay? So it was.
Did that wear in your guys' relationship? Like at the time?
What wore in our relationship was living with Casey and Riley. Because we lived with them for like the first like 2 months till our lease went out.
Oh, so both of you were with them? Oh,
yeah,
damn.
So we got married, came back from our honeymoon, lived with Casey and Riley. And at the time, I'm 21 years old. I don't know how to be a husband.
Huh?
Yeah, I know how to be a husband. She goes to sleep, I crawl out of the bed, and we play some video games. So I didn't know how to be a man to her, you know? I wasn't a good husband. Yeah, I'm still learning. Yeah. I'm still learning. So that was the rough part. And we clicked heads. I mean, just me, Riley, Casey, and Trey. And we're all good friends. And after we're playing football, we're going to jacuzzi every night, throwing the ball around, drinking, having fun, whatever. And then
Good
I had
times,
my wife. Yeah,
just
good
hearing you
times.
talk about it, I just think like it's the little moments in life too where it just seems like all the stars are aligned. Like
Perfect.
you might
No
not have
worries.
all the money, you might not be in like the perfect spot, but just like that, dude. Like
Chill.
you're living with your boys, you got your lady.
Hakuna Matata, bro. Just
Exactly.
kicking it. No worries at all. It was great, but at the back of the mind, she doesn't want to hang out with the guys, and she wants to spend time with me, and I leave her at home, and I'm in the jacuzzi with my friends, or I'm leaving the bed, and she's waking up, and I'm not there, and so it was messed up with me. So that was more difficult, and then on top of that, living with like 12 other people, that was difficult.
Yeah. Nothing at all, dude. You have like freaking like one couch, not even a bed,
but
just a
that's
mattress.
my
That's
couch.
mine.
I feel that.
And I think as long as you guys are cool, like the two people are good in like the relationship, then it does just help build.
It just made us stronger.
Exactly.
Yeah, it just made us way stronger. And we were there for each other, and it was just a lot better. Your arguments were between the two of you instead of between 20 million people. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
There you go, that's right. You can fight and
comfort,
huh?
And it was funny because when I was living with the guys, I didn't even have a door. It was an office, and it had a sliding door. And it was just like that. It was like a collapsible door. And then we live with her family, and then we in a shed. We don't even have like a real room. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you can't even really argue like that without other people knowing your business.
Yeah. So it's worth that $17.50 right now.
Oh yeah, and then I got my dog.
And you got your dogs.
I got my dog, so I'm chilling. Yeah, I love it.
I wanted to ask you about the Jehovah's Witness background, about growing up in the church, but you didn't really grow up in a church, right? You came until you came with your dad.
So the reason why I stayed out here is because I fell in love for the first time ever with this chick. I was 14 years old. Mm-hmm. She was 18 years old, and then
wait, so you had the option to go back?
Yeah, I did.
Okay,
I did, and I decided to stay out here.
Okay,
because all that bugging my dad was doing, I was like, I don't want to hear none of it. And then I fell in love with this chick who was recently baptized, and she was
that'll get you.
I'm gonna get you. You got me. And so I started getting into it. And to be honest with you, I believe a lot of what they teach. Mm-hmm. Most of all of it, I believe in all of it. But I'm just not a religious person.
Yeah,
I'm just not that guy. And I can't pretend to be. I was a regular pioneer in the church, and I went out and preached door to door, and I put in my 70, 80 hours a week or a month or whatever. I was going hard into it. But even when I went to pioneer school, I didn't study. Even when I went to school, I didn't study. I dropped out of high school.
What's the pioneer level? Just I'm not too familiar with
pioneer level. So basically, it just means that you go out in service and knock on people's door for a certain amount of hours.
And how's that different from a normal church going person?
So basically, you're considered active if you put in, and man, it's been so long, I don't even remember the numbers. I believe
50 hours a week. 50 hours a month.
I think we'll go with 20
or
10 or something like that. You're considered active. I don't know, some number. And then to be a regular pioneer, it means you put in a higher number, 70, 80 hours, whatever it may be, a week or something like that. I don't know if it was a week or a month. I think it was a month.
Yeah,
I want to say it was a month.
I remember Jesse was breaking it all down to me too.
Yeah, right? it's a lot. I don't even remember. But I still believe in it. I cuss a lot. I've always cussed since I was a kid, bro. It's just who I am, and I can't stop cussing. I cuss. It's part of my vocabulary. Sorry, I don't know what you want me to do. But I don't do anything bad.
Are you in the spot to you believe in God, believe in the Bible, but it's just I'm not gonna go to the church.
Exactly.
I don't feel like I need all this.
They're very judgmental too. So me cussing and me kicking it with you is frowned upon, and I'm just I love everybody. I generally love everybody. You can't tell me not to kick it with somebody just because they're not one of Jehovah's Witnesses. Yeah. And you can't tell me just to not, because it's just part of my language. I mean, you're giving power to the words. I get into this argument all the time. They're like, "Fuck is the worst word." It's fuck by far is not the worst cuss word. If we're breaking it down by definition, damn would be the worst cuss word. But people just give power to these words, and so I'm just it's you. It's not me. You're the one giving power to the word.
I mean, there's just noises we make.
Yeah, I don't care. So they don't like that. They don't like the people that I kick it with. They don't like the way I am. I wear the chains. They didn't like the chains. When I came into the religion, I had the saggy pants. They didn't like the saggy pants. I tightened my pants up. They said my pants was too tight. And so I was just alright, yeah.
I win.
I'm good. So I believe in all of it. I respect all of it.
Yeah.
I just distance myself from the congregations. So like, it's not that I'm making myself like I'm still one of Jehovah's Witnesses. I'm just inactive.
Yeah.
I'm not disfellowshipped. I'm not anything. I'm literally just inactive.
Yeah.
And I try to tell people that I'm not one of Jehovah's Witnesses because I'm not a good example, and I would never want to bring any kind of like, you know, attention to myself and be like, oh, he's one of Jehovah's Witnesses. I'd be like, no, I'm not, because I don't want
he's a
people.
hypocrite.
Yeah.
You don't want them to get the image of the church from you.
Yeah,
From
me.
Right
Because I'm not an embodiment of what Jehovah's Witnesses are. I'm a terrible example. So I just tell people, even though I am baptized and I am just inactive, I'm just not currently active. I just tell people I'm not, so that they don't look at me as an example.
That's cool. I mean, it's good that at least you're self-aware of that, because most people wouldn't care.
Well, no, I feel it's disrespectful. I feel like it's disrespectful for God. I feel like it's disrespectful to the people who are in that religion for me to make myself associated with it when I'm clearly just cussing up a storm and kicking it with people that I shouldn't be kicking it with. So it's just, for me, it's just out of respect.
That's cool.
It's just a respect thing.
I respect your respect.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm just a very respectful person, so I never want to infringe on anybody's beliefs and stuff like that, or make anybody uncomfortable. I just tell people I'm not.
Damn. So, how long were you? At what point were you like? Did you remove yourself? I guess from the congregation in general. Because you said you were into it for a while.
Yeah, I was in Imperial Beach over here, and then I met my wife, and then I started going to the halls out here, and everything was just too cliquey for me. I've been to several different congregations, and everybody was just kind of like, you know, I was a regular pioneer. I was ready to be used. I was ready to be, you know, use me in the congregation as far as like handling mics and giving talks and doing stuff like that, and I love it. I love public speaking. I love doing all that. So like giving talks on stage and stuff like that was really cool for me. I love doing it. And they just weren't giving me my shots, even though I had a letter of approval from the elders from my old congregation. They still weren't using me. And so I was just like, I'm over it. So I started to get discouraged and stuff like that. And so then I moved to a different hall. And then it was
how does that work? Are you just like on a waiting list, or like?
No waiting list. They just feel like you're in good standing with the congregation and that you're a good example. And then because you're a good example, then you get to do all these other things. But it was just taking them so long. I'm like, I'm a regular pioneer. I got a letter of approval. Like, I'm checking all the boxes. Like, what are you talking about? I'm commenting at every meeting. I'm on service all the time. I was like, what are you waiting for? And so it was just too cliquey, whatever. And then I moved congregation to congregation, and then I just got uncomfortable. And it got to a point where I just stopped going. And then they have these things called shepherding calls. Basically, it's just like if anybody kind of like strays away, they call and check on, like, hey, what's going on? Are you going through something? Can we help you? Why have you not been showing up at meetings, whatever? We didn't get not one person from none of the congregations ever call me, ever talk to me, ever say anything or check up on me at all until
they know you existed?
Not, bro, dead ass. Until like almost 2 years later. And then they call and they're like, oh, well, we want to do a shepherding call. I'm like, it's like, damn,
Who
2
is
years.
this?
Yeah, it's like, it's been 2 years, bro. You want to do a shepherding call now? Like, I'm good. Like, and then I started kind of holding resentment towards that, and then getting upset with that, and that's another reason why I'm just kind of like, you didn't even know I was here, bro. I was like, now you want to come talk to me? I was like, I'm good. Your job was to make sure that I didn't stray away, and I strayed away, and you now want to call me? Like, I'm straight, dude. I'm good. I'm off it. So that happened, and it just sucked because I'm coming from like Imperial Beach, where if I missed one meeting, if I was sick, they'd call and they'd hit me up. And the brothers and sisters, it was very family oriented. Like, it was dope. That congregation was awesome, and they checked up on you, and they're like, "Hey, are you okay? Can I bring you something?" You know, when I was breaking my arms and hands, whatever I was doing, they would bring us food. Like, it was really cool. It was dope. And then I move out, and I got none of those vibes from any other congregation. And I was like, oh, so this is just a here thing. And so
then why didn't you go back at some point?
It's just too far.
Okay.
And then
that makes sense.
My dad's in that hall, and I didn't want him. I still don't want him knowing. He still doesn't know about where I am currently with the whole religion.
Because you don't want to disappoint him, or
he's an elder.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
he's an elder, and if he would ever found out, he would just not stop bugging me. And,
Really?
Yeah, and I'm at that point in my life where I'm good where I'm at.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to go back. I don't want to leave. Like, I just want to be inactive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's weird to say that, but, like, I just want to be where I'm at.
Yeah.
Because I can still get to kick it with my homies, and then I still, you know, I'm good. Yeah. Like, I'm literally in a perfect spot right now.
Like you said, you're not disfellowshipped to
yeah,
you're getting shunned by the whole community.
Exactly. And then I'm not, like, I don't have to go. So, you know,
yeah,
like...
I get it, man.
Yeah, so, and then if I wanted to go, I could still go, and
yeah.
I could still talk to everybody. Because I'm still going to go to all the conventions.
Yeah.
Still going to go to the memorial. Like, I'm still going to go to all of that stuff. I'm literally just inactive. I'm not disassociating myself with them, and I'm not disfellowshipped. I'm just inactive, and it's where I want to be. That's so cool. If my dad found out about that, he'd flip his shit.
So do you guys don't talk at all?
Not really.
Okay.
We go a couple months where he talks.
Because I feel like I don't understand like how he wouldn't know.
Yeah, he's all the way down in... Well, now he's back in Market Street with my grandma. He's helping my grandma out. But yeah, we barely talk. We talk like maybe once every month or two.
But you guys are cool? I mean, just like...
We're cordial. Yeah. I mean, I tell him I love him.
You do your thing, we do our...
Yeah, I tell him I love him.
Okay.
He says I love you, and I tell him I love him back, but we don't have a relationship.
Yeah.
And we're never going to have a relationship.
And
that might be on me. You know, my fault, and I always know it, and I tell my wife all the time, I was like, I'm going to be so sad when my dad dies. Like, I already know it. Like, I'm going to be butthurt, I'm going to be mad at myself, but at this point, it's just like, it is what it is, and like, he's too deep into the religion for me to ever, you know, be able to talk with him or kick it with him. And
that sounds so weird to me, though,
yeah.
to hear you say that and, like, not want to, like, do something about it.
Yeah, because I just don't feel like I can. There's nothing to do, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, I'm good where I'm at,
yeah,
and then he's good where he's at, and he's really deep into the religion, and I'm not. And then if I'm not deep into the religion, he's not going to be associated with me other than to tell me to come back to this religion. Really? So every conversation we're going to have is going to be about religion. So, like, my dad...
Is he really like that?
Yeah.
Like,
oh, bro, he went from, like, hardcore gangbanger to, like, hardcore religious. Like, all tatted out to getting all laser removed. Like, you got to understand, like, how, like... devout he is. He's like a devout Jehovah's Witness. And so like all our conversations are just going to be about religion. And so like to be honest with you, bro, if my dad was the gangbanger, I'd like him a hell of a lot more. Like I'd kick it with him. We talk about knives. Yeah, we talk about everything, bro. If he was in jail, I'd probably have a better relationship with him than I do right now. Like that's just is what it is, because all our conversations are literally just going to be about religion, and I don't want to talk about religion. Like, if you want to kick it and shoot the breeze, like, my dad, as much as I hate to say it, I'm, like, an embodiment of my father.
I was going to say, like, you're similar.
Yeah, we're real similar. Like, he's a jokester. He jokes too much. He's funny. He's chill. Everybody loves my dad. My dad's a cool guy, but he's just too religious for me to kick it with him. So I just know that our relationship's never going to be there. So, like, I just don't even try. And I love my dad. I mean, I get it. He tried. He was, you know, he had his own hard times. I was the first child. He, you know, messed up with me, whatever it is. But it's in the past, and then you can't fix it. So I'm just at this point where it's plateau, and then when he's gone, it's gonna be a hard one for me. But I already know what it's gonna be.
Yeah,
so.
You see, I don't understand that, dude.
Yeah,
I can't grasp the fact that you're saying this like consciously, like I'm gonna hate it when he's gone.
Oh, I
already
know.
But still, like, not being driven, like, to do something. I don't know.
I just like don't know what can you do, you
I
know?
understand, yeah.
Like, if he could just kick it with me and just not talk about religion, we straight. Like, we'd probably have a great relationship. But the fact that he will never be able to not have that, I mean, he's so deep into it, bro. Like, I have 2 little brothers and a little sister, and I don't even talk to them. I feel bad about it. But I have 2 little brothers and a little sister. And he doesn't even let them like watch superhero stuff because they're like, it's demonic.
Oh, damn.
Like,
I freaking love the Marvel movies.
Right?
You can't do that.
Right? And he's
You're right.
Like,
Screw that
up. Yeah. he's just way too into it, bro. Like, there's people who are.
But you respect it, right? Like, I respect it because I see where they're coming from. I don't agree with it.
I don't respect it.
Oh, you don't?
I don't. Because here's my thing. There's people in that.
I feel like it comes from a good place.
I guess. If you want to look at it like that. But for me, it's kind of like, there's people in that religion, and I was one of those people who were just really chill and kick back. And if you wanted to talk about the Bible, we could talk about the Bible. right? And we could talk about religion, we could talk about Jesus, blah, 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 whatever. We can talk about all that. If you wanted to talk about it. And I wouldn't say, hey, be one of Jehovah's Witnesses. I would just be like, what are your beliefs? What are my beliefs? Let's talk about it. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that about you. Oh, this is what I believe in. Why do you believe? Blah, blah, blah. Let's talk. Let's kick it. But with him and other people who are Jehovah's Witnesses, they're very much like, if you're not one of Jehovah's Witnesses, I can't kick it with you. I can't talk to you. You need to come to meetings. You need to do that. Very much like almost shoving it down your throat. And those are the people that I just can't get along with. I mean, my dad became one of Jehovah's Witnesses, and he divorced my mom because she didn't want to be one of Jehovah's Witnesses. And then he...
is that why they split up?
Yeah.
Oh,
and
no.
then he completely disowned his whole family because none of them were Jehovah's Witnesses. His mom, his sister, he don't talk to his brother because none of them wanted to be one of Jehovah's Witnesses. And he was like, you either going to be one of Jehovah's Witnesses or we're not going to talk.
Yeah.
So it's like that kind of stuff I don't respect, because how could you turn your back on family? Like, to even my cousin, my best cousin, like we're really, really close. She's the only one that didn't beat me. I mean, she beat me up. She did, but she was the only one that we did it playfully. You know what I'm saying? But she, since we were in diapers, like I'm talking, like we're really, really close. And when I ran away from home, I used to run away from my dad all the time when I lived out here.
Really?
We got into it. Yeah, I ran away. I've slept in my car in parks, like just trying to get away from my pops, because he was just so like, do what I'm telling you to do. And I was like, no. But like my best cousin, she's a lesbian, and she's like she's one of my best friends. And then she had a kid with her wife. She got married, and my dad was like, oh, she's not making it. I was like, who the hell are you to say that? Like, that's my family, that's my blood. Like, that's like...
Wait, what do you say? She's not making it?
She's not going to make it through like the tribulation into the new world and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like she was just...
She's going to hell.
You basically, essentially, like, we don't believe in hell, but basically she's going to hell, she's not coming back.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, how are you going to say that? Like, that's my cousin. Like, you just going to turn your back on family? Like, that's crazy to me. So, like, that kind of stuff, like, I don't mess with all that. So, like, I don't respect him for any of that. He's too religious. And that's a thing. That's a thing. I get where you come from. It's from a good place. If you want to be that religious, dope. But you don't got to turn your back on people. They didn't do nothing wrong. They're not doing nothing to you. Like that, he would expect me to turn my back on my mom. And my mom, I'm the biggest mama's boy, bro. Like I am.
Tell me,
my mom
I'm one of those.
You know, my mom is my best friend, bro. My mom is my idol. If I could just, before I die, if I could just be half the person my mom is, I'd be happy. And she's not one of Joe's Witnesses, and he would have me not talk to her anymore. And that's just crazy to me. That just don't make no sense to me. Like, my mom birthed me. Why would I do that? So that's a little too much for me. And because he is that way, we'll never be able to have a conversation where we can get past our issues.
I get it. I think I see it like I'll say this like playing like devil's advocate kind of. It's like once you really believe the teachings and the saying, I mean, when you really believe the Bible, it's like these make sense. Like Jesus said, like dude, like freaking. Dude, like, let the dead bury the dead. Like, let your dad go. You got to turn your back on your family. Everyone, like, all that doesn't matter to you in the end. And as far as, like, the shoving it down people's throat and, like, I always think, like, to where you see any kind of street preaching or outreach like that, like, you guys doing missionary work, like, going door to door, it's like I always see that as these people preaching you, like, really... Like they really believe in this. Like so they're not gonna make it through. Or like so I believe you're going to hell. So it's of course I expect them to freaking to do whatever they can to really push us forward. Exactly. So it's like I understand. It's like people don't want to hear like people just preaching down their throat. But it's like dude, like these people are coming from a good spot. And I don't believe in any of this at all right now. Right. But it's like I understand it like being in there. And now being out of it and like looking at it, it's like okay, like I'm not mad at you. Like you're trying to help me at the end of the day.
I get that, and I could see it that way too, but
you have your own.
You know what I'm saying? Like so, like it's like there's got to be a middle ground. It can't be just like I have to do what you want, or you have to do what I want. We got to have a middle ground, and if there was a middle ground where you can talk about religion to me and try to save my life, but then there's also other conversation that we could have just about life and just about like father to son. Cool, then we could kind of establish or save a relationship. But if it's only religion and I only have to do what you want me to do in order for us to save that relationship, then that don't make no sense to me. There's got to be some kind of middle ground. You got to find that with each other. and we're never gonna find that middle ground. So it's one of those things you just kind of like, you grow up and then you're just like, oh, I see what it is. It's like, all right, it's really gonna suck, but it is what it is. Yeah, it's hard to fathom. I get it.
It hurts me.
I get it. I can kind of see from somebody else's standpoint where they're just like, man, how are you even gonna deal with like how the fact that you're just saying that doesn't even make any sense. I see that, but for me, it just makes so much sense. Yeah. Like, I've been living with it for years now, where I just kind of accepted it, and I was just like, all right, we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But no, man, I respect it. I respect your level of like self-awareness and like understanding where you're at, especially being so young. Let's say 25, going 26. Like,
I've had a lot of stuff happen.
Like I'm never. I don't think I'm still at the level that you're at right now. Like I'm
had to
trying
grow
to figure
up quick.
myself out.
Yeah, I had to grow up quick. So I'm just very. I try to make myself aware of every single situation. Like I'm a weirdo, bro. Like I walk on a certain side of the street just so I could see out the mirrors of cars behind me. Like I'm I'm very self-aware of like my surroundings and like even everything in life. Any situation I put myself in, I make myself aware of what the situation is, what kind of circumstances it could lead to and stuff like that. And I just try to be very self-aware of everything and basically everything. I'm very so much like, I examine a situation like, this is what it is.
That's smart.
Yeah, deal with it, figure out a solution. If I can do it, then I can do it. If I can't, then it is what it is, and then we'll handle it when we get there.
Do you guys want kids? You guys plan on having kids?
I want kids. She doesn't.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she doesn't want kids, and I don't blame her. And I wouldn't want kids right now either.
Yeah.
Like I'm just starting a new job. Like I want kids later on in the future, maybe like 29, 30. I would want some kids.
And she's like dead set on like no, or she's just like not right now.
Not right now,
okay,
but like she's so like. Not right now at all, like that it's not right now in the future at all. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I got you.
But she's very much so like, I know you want kids, so maybe. But as long as I got my dogs, I don't care. You guys want kids?
Nah, we're like the opposite. Like she does.
Not
right now. She doesn't want kids right now,
right.
But she does want kids now. I'm like, no, like I don't want any.
Is it you just scares you? Or
I'm
what?
terrified.
Why?
Dude. Like it just seems like so much responsibility, dude. Like
it is.
Like I have to freaking groom and raise, and I just feel like so selfish too. Like I just
that.
know myself so much. Like, dude, like I don't want to give up everything I have.
The freedoms
like,
that you have
exactly,
to stay
dude.
home with the kid.
But then you hear people say, dude, it's like no matter what, like everything I've done in my life, like some people like having kids is like the best experience they've ever done. Like they'd give up everything just for that. So,
but I feel like you got to do what you want to do before you can have kids. So like once you get into that spot in life where you're just like, I've done everything that I wanted to do. Now I want to experience something else, and I think experiencing having a child and raising it and having that kind of sense of responsibility and having your seed literally like an embodiment of you.
So scary, right?
It's just scary out there in the world, and it's just for me, this world just sucks so bad and it's full of just terrible people that I would love to be able to put just one person who could possibly make a difference in this world out here.
I love that.
And just have it be from me, because for me, my goal here when I leave this earth is just to make a footprint. And whether that was a big footprint where I just stumble into being rich and famous and I'm able to touch millions of people's lives, or if I'm just able to touch that one person's life and help make a difference in somebody's life, I'll be good with that. Like I said, if I could just be like half the person my mom is, like I would love it. Because my mom, literally, we were broke, she got divorced, she had a kid, she had no job, she was going to school, she came out here to North Carolina, got 2 jobs, going to school, had a kid, the daycare was like $12,000 a year, and she was only making $20,000. And then, so I was like taking up half her income, so she had $10,000 for the whole year for rent and food and all this other stuff. She's working 2 jobs. She's going to school. She graduates school, and then she starts working her ass up from the bottom to the top. And now she's a vice president of her company. She's a multi-millionaire. She's like awesome. And what she did with that money is she, when I was going through my depression and I was going through all this kind of financial struggles and stuff like that, she cleared my whole debt. She paid my grandma's mortgage off. She just made differences in tons of people's lives. And there's a dog that got injured, that got eaten by a coyote. She saved its life because I didn't have the money to give the dog up, and I had to pay like $90 to give up the rights to the dog. And it's not a lot of money, but I didn't have any money. I was not working, and she paid $90. Like, she just has a good heart. and she's touched me, she's touched our family, she's touched her friends. Like when she dies, she's made a difference in people's lives. And so for me, I just want to be half of that. So if I could just do that before I leave, I'll be more than happy. And then for me, that comes with having a kid. If I could just leave a footprint of myself and embody the same vision and same love and kindness and stuff into another child who grows up to do the same thing with his child and so on and so forth, I'd be happy with just that, even if I never become rich or famous and be able to help as many people as I wish I could. That alone would make me happy.
Yeah, that's beautiful, dude. You freaking answered the wrap-up question without me even trying. Thanks, brother.
Always, brother. Thanks for having me.